Hi, welcome to Facts Factor. Today we're diving into a chilling chapter of history as we explore the lives of 25 famous individuals whose legacies were marred by the shocking specter of murder. From Hollywood icons to influential leaders, their stories are a haunting reminder that even the brightest stars can be extinguished by the darkest of deeds. Join us on a journey through the twists and turns of fame as we uncover the mysteries, examine the motives, and confront the harsh realities behind these tragic ends. Get ready to be gripped by the compelling narratives and unsolved mysteries that lurk beneath the surface of celebrity culture. Sharon Tate actress. Sharon Tate was tragically murdered on August 9, 1969 by members of the notorious Charles Manson family. While she and 3 friends were sleeping, 4 members of his cult broke into Tate's home and stabbed her 16 times. At the time of her death, she was 8.5 months pregnant with director Roman Polanski's child. Phil Hartman, former Saturday Night Live comedian and Jingle All the Way star Phil Hartman, was murdered by his wife Bryn on May 28, 1998. After reportedly getting into a heated argument, she shot him 3 times in his sleep and later took her own life. It is also believed that drugs were a factor in the murder-suicide. Christina Grimmy, singer and former The Voice contestant. Christina Grimmy's life was cut short on June 10, 2016, after an obsessed fan named Kevin James Loibel murdered her. She was 22. As she signed autographs inside of the Plaza Live in Orlando, Florida, he pulled out a gun and shot her 3 times, once in the head and twice in the chest. John Lennon Beatles singer John Lennon was killed on December 8, 1980, in what is probably the most famous fan murder of all time. He was shot 4 times by a troubled man named Mark David Chapman outside of his home in New York. Chapman later claimed his actions were inspired by the book The Catcher in the Rye. He was sentenced to life in prison. Natalie Wood actress. Natalie Wood's body was found in the Pacific Ocean on November 29, 1981, after a boat trip to Catalina Island on board her husband Robert Wagner's yacht. Though her cause of death was declared an accidental drowning, many suspect she was murdered because the autopsy report revealed she had bruises on her body and a cut on her left cheek. Jam Master Jay legendary Run DMC. DJ Jam Master Jay was murdered on October 30, 2002, after someone shot him in a recording studio in Jamaica, Queens. Though his murder remains unsolved, former NYPD detective Derek Parker, also known as the Hip Hop Cop, says he knows who killed Jam Master Jay and that the case will be closed soon. Marvin Gay singer. Marvin Gay was killed by his father on April 1, 1984, after he tried to break up a fight between him and his mother. He was shot twice in their house in California and was pronounced dead on arrival at the California Hospital Medical Center. His father, Marvin Sr., received a 6-year suspended sentence and 5 years of probation. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22, 1963, while riding in a presidential convertible limousine through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas. His murdered was former U.S. Marine named Lee Harvey Oswald, who fatally shot JFK in the head and neck. He was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead nearly 30 minutes after the shooting. Dimebag Darrell guitarist Dimebag Darrell was shot and killed on stage while performing with his band Damage Plan on December 8, 2004 at nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. His murderer was a crazed fan named Nathan Gale, who blamed Darrell for breaking up his former band Pantera. 3 others were also murdered in the shooting before Gale was killed by police. Tupac Shaker rapper. Tupac Shaker was shot 4 times on September 7, 1996, while riding in his friend's car after leaving a Las Vegas boxing match. He died at a local hospital 6 days later at the age of 25. His killer still remains unknown. However, many have theorized that Tupac's murder was the result of his East Coast-West Coast feud with rapper Biggie Smalls. Sam Cooke singer. Sam Cooke was shot and killed on December 11, 1964 by a hotel manager named Bertha Franklin. Police ruled his death a justifiable homicide because Franklin claimed Cooke had threatened her life after attempting to rape a young woman who had accompanied him to the motel. However, many still believe that there was a conspiracy to murder Cooke. Nicole Brown Simpson actress. Nicole Brown Simpson was killed on June 13, 1994, and her murder case is still referred to as the trial of the century. She and her friend Ron Goldman were both stabbed to death and found lying in a pool of their blood outside her home in Brentwood, California. Brown's husband, O.J. Simpson, was the primary suspect in the murder, but he was acquitted of all charges. Adrienne Shell, director. Adrienne Shell was found hanged to death in the shower of the studio apartment she used as an office on November 1st, 2006. At first, it looked like she took her own life. However, police found a footprint beside where her body had been found. They later arrested a construction worker named Diego Pilco, who confessed to killing Shell and staging the fake suicide. Andreas Escobar, soccer player. Andreas Escobar was killed on July 2, 1994, in Medellin, Colombia, following the 1994 FIFA World Cup. Colombia was eliminated after he accidentally scored in his own team's net, which subsequently led to his murder when two men pulled out a gun and shot him 6 times. It is believed his death was retaliation for his error. XXXTENTACION, whose real name was Jasse Onfroym, was shot and killed in an apparent robbery on June 18, 2018. He was 20 years old. He was shot multiple times in the neck by 2 men after leaving a motorsports store in Florida. At the time of his death, XXXTENTACION was facing 15 felony charges, including domestic violence involving his pregnant girlfriend. Princess Diana. Princess Diana, the beloved mother of Prince William and Harry, was killed in a fatal car crash in Paris, France on August 31, 1997. Though there are tons of conspiracy theories to suggest the royal family had her murdered, others believe the paparazzi are responsible for causing the driver to lose control of the car. Carl Switzer. Carl Switzer, best known for his role as Alfalfa from the Our Gang comedies, was shot to death during an alleged argument over $50 on January 21, 1959. His assailant, Moses Samuel Stilts, claimed the actor threw a knife at him across the room, so he shot Switzer in the stomach. JonBenet Ramsey, though she wasn't a celebrity at the time of her death, child beauty queen. JonBenet Ramsey became a household name after she was murdered at the age of 6. In her home in Boulder, Colorado, on December 26, 1996. Her body was found in her basement after her mother, Patsy, said she found a ransom note demanding $118,000 for JonBenet's return. It was later revealed she had sustained a broken skull from a blow to the head and was strangled to death. Though her case remains unsolved, it is widely believed her parents staged the note in order to cover up the crime. Rebecca Schaeffer, model-turned-actress Rebecca Schaeffer's life was tragically cut short on July 18, 1989, after she was shot and killed in the doorway of her home. Her murderer was an obsessed fan named Robert John Bardo, who had been stalking her for years. He reportedly became enraged with jealousy after seeing her in bed with another man on TV. Elizabeth Short, Black Dahlia. Aspiring actress Elizabeth Short, aka the Black Dahlia, was found dead on January 15, 1947. Though she wasn't famous before her death, her murder became highly publicized due to the graphic nature of the crime. Short's naked body was found severed into 2 pieces and drained entirely of blood. She also had cuts on the side of her mouth, thighs, and breasts. After a deep and lengthy investigation, her murder still remains unsolved. Dominique Dunn, actress. Dominique Dunn was strangled by her ex-boyfriend, John Thomas Sweeney, in the driveway of her home on the evening of October 30th, 1982. She was transported to a local hospital, where she was placed on life support. However, she never regained consciousness and died on November 4th. Even though Sweeney admitted he killed his girlfriend when police arrested him, he was only sentenced to 6 years in prison for manslaughter. Dorothy Stratton, Playboy model. Dorothy Stratton was brutally murdered at the age of 20 by her estranged husband manager Paul Snyder. He shot her and then shot himself in their West Los Angeles apartment on August 14, 1980. Her body was later found raped and beaten, and she had a gunshot wound on her face. Biggie, just like his rival Tupac. Biggie Smalls, aka the notorious B.I.G., was killed in drive-by shooting on March 9, 1997, and his murder remains unsolved. After leaving the Soul Train Music Awards, the rapper was gunned down by a man at a red light. He was shot 4 times and died shortly after arriving at Los Angeles Cedars-Sinai Hospital. Selena Quintanilla Perez, rising star. Selena Quintanilla Perez was murdered by Yolanda Saldiva, the founder of the Selena fan club, on March 31, 1995. When Saldiva was accused of embezzling money, she bought a gun, lured the singer to Days Inn Motel, and shot her in the back. Selena died of her injuries shortly after. She was 23. Giani Versace Italian fashion designer Giani Versace was murdered by serial killer Andrew Cunanan on July 15, 1997. He was shot and killed on the steps of his Miami mansion after his morning walk. It's still unclear what Cunanan's motive was, but he also killed 4 other people and later took his own life.